illness is a more of a holistic definition. I mentioned I work a lot with cancer in the cancer community, and it's easy to understand that cancer is more than just a physical event, right? I mean, yes, obviously it affects the physical body, but it also affects us mentally and emotionally, sometimes even spiritually. And so illness is a whole person event, whereas disease is more of the clinical determination of local areas within the body, particular organs that are failing. So disease is more of a clinical definition. It can fit within the modern medicine, conventional medicine paradigm, and as such be treated, which is important because we're getting better and better at treating the physical body. But it's also important to understand that treating the physical body alone doesn't solve the problem. It only means that we're getting better at managing the disease, not healing the illness, certainly not preventing the illness. And I think it's important to understand that by treating only the physical body, we only solve a part of the healing equation, which means we only get partial results, hence recurrences. And from my perspective, it is because we essentially disconnect through the medical format, medical treatment, which essentially relates to the physical body. We disconnect the cancer patient from the cancer as if to say that this illness has nothing to do with you. Of course, it has a lot to do with the person within this physical body, and there's a lot that this person can do. So the work that I do specifically, which is goal-oriented, which is comprehensive, has tremendous benefits, but it does not exclude you from life's trials and turbulence. In other words, just because we're doing a certain kind of work doesn't mean that we are not human anymore in any sort of way, that we're not allowed to be fragile. And the human experience is a fragile experience. And what we want to constantly do is strengthen the person that we are from within. As such, healing is not a destination, healing is a journey. I worked here in Boston at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, which is a really prestigious hospital, for a moment in time, a few years back. And I remember a few discussions with some of the oncologists, and they said, well, isn't that false hope, right? You're promoting false hope. And my answer was very simply that false hope can only exist when you provide false guarantee. I think it's important to turn the table on that statement for them, because I think when you use the word cure, it suggests a certain level of ignorance. I don't think we ever stop becoming. And as such, there are forces around us, within us all the time that work to decay the body. And, there's disease agents, carcinogenics, and we never stop defending, right? That's what the immune system is all about. It's been doing this since the beginning of time. And for me, specifically, what I find, because the very methodology that I developed and work with cancer patients and people with trauma, the very methodology is designed to address the root cause of their limitation. If it's the root cause of cancer, we look at cancer, yes, there are certainly physical components that will promote kind of vulnerability within the body. But from my perspective, the mind as the blueprint, if we are able to truly resolve these conflicts, inner conflicts, these mental and psychological patterns that we know through research, suppress and impair the functioning of our immune system, if we can undo them, then we resolve the conflict, and the outcome of that is freedom. So for me, the very purpose of doing this kind of work is to really set people free. A lot of people describe it as if they're growing wing at the end of the work, as they feel lighter, they can fly, they're not burdened by the trauma of it, by the fear of it, by the stress of it, by the anxiety of it. Medical treatment is very demanding emotionally and mentally, and we want to be resilient. We want to have the capacity to meet these embedded challenges within the recovery journey. We want to be able to meet them with the right state of mind, because we know, again, through research, that whenever you enter a procedure in the right state of mind, there are few complications. It usually translates into shorter hospital stay, fewer side effects, and so forth. So there's tremendous benefits to doing that. And every doctor will attest to that. They can actually agree to the fact that the mind and body are an intimate, integrated system. In fact, you can't really hurt your pinky toe without having an emotional reaction to it. And vice versa, it's true as well. You can't really have a physical or an emotional injury without feeling it in your body. So I think it's important to understand that. So it's really not about a philosophical discussion whether the root cause of illness is mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical. I'm not getting into that debate. It's the truth as your mind perceives it. That's all we care about, because the perception that is there, that is fueling the distorted perception, the erroneous belief, that's the pebble in your shoe. And I hope this message gets through, because that's the ultimate truth, and that's what we're after. And when we are changing the meaning of past events, beliefs, perceptions, we kind of apply a new and updated understanding of the meaning, a new definition of the meaning of those events, perceptions, and beliefs. We override the perceived with the truth, and thus restoring harmony, order, health, ultimately.